Hello again everybody, it's me Sam here, I'm Skullgrim Throwback here again for another video, and yes, today I'm going to be having a point to this video because the last video that I did, the vlog that I did, didn't really seem to have much of a point that really drew to anyone's interest. It was just me talking about some very less important stuff and just me tripping over my words. So I'm going to try and make this video have a bit more of a point and a bit more of a meaning because it really seems like I need to focus on that a little bit more. So, what can I really talk about regarding this video? Well, as the title below pretty much suggests, the issue of change and how it affects us all. And I'm saying this about YouTube, not just life, but just about YouTube and how people's interests move on and how everything really shifts into a different style. So, yes, today I'm going to be talking about something that I've had on my mind for a while, and I kind of really want to just put this into the form of a video and try and see if I can get anyone out there who's actually watching to understand. Let's see. It's been a while since I've really actually been active on YouTube. As anyone who has followed me for a while already knows, for a while now, I've been known for reviewing toys, and I've been known for talking about toys, and I've mostly been talking specifically about Transformers, because the whole point of the channel was to do toy reviews of Transformers toys. And as time went on, and things happened, I started getting less and less and less and less and less interested in all that. And things sort of moved away from that, and I didn't have any time because I was busy with college, and I was busy with other things which I am dedicating more of my life towards, as I've probably gone on about on greater length. But for this particular channel, I'm just thinking, where do I go from here? How can I make what I'm doing have a bit more of a point? Because as my interest is no longer really in toy reviewing anymore, it really seems like I have just lost the passion for it, especially because, you know, when you look back on YouTube and you see how the whole reviewing paradigm has shifted, people who have been the more regular reviewers have sort of disappeared off the internet and have not really had much of an opportunity to really get back on and make a toy review again. There are some people out there who still do that sort of thing, and that's fine, because at least you're showing the older generation of, when I say older generation, the generation from 2009 up to about now, because that's kind of really how the whole reviewing thing was for a while. I mean, because the oldest reviewers mostly went on from 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13, from there on. And it really seems that that whole change has dropped. And so I'm just thinking, what do I get out? What's going to happen with me? Because it really seems like as I've had less attention on toys, and I've had less attention on reviewing them, it really seems like you don't really want to repeat yourself on what somebody else has said, or you want to try and do something a little bit different. And I have been trying to do that, but the problem is that it's trying to find the motivation for any of that. And it's difficult, because when you do a video of a review, a toy review or something, then your words ultimately echo what somebody else has said. Like, say for example, this toy is great, or that toy is great. So, and I'm not doing this video specifically just to say that everyone's opinion is the same, because we all want to try and make sure that everyone's opinion is different, but so that it encourages other people to see our enjoyment of a certain product. And so I'm just thinking regarding this video, how I can really just keep moving ahead with YouTube without really going into the whole toy reviewing thing. And so, without really breaking any sort of ice, as the expression goes. I don't even know if that is even used in the proper context. But let's see. I'm done with YouTube now. I'm not done with, and I'll explain what I mean. I'm done with the whole toy reviewing thing. Now, I'll explain why. It's not because I don't want to bank off of what everybody else's opinion has, because everybody else's opinion is going to be so different. But for me personally, I feel like my interests towards what I love, specifically Transformers, has moved away from that. I've been doing a lot more of my artwork, I've been doing a lot more of my photography, I've been doing other things aside from just talking about Transformers, because at the moment, Transformers has kind of really been just on sort of a still position at the moment where nothing really is going on except for a few things that really aren't that appealing to me. I'll get on to one of the things I'm looking forward to in a minute, but that's later. So yeah, my interest in Transformers has kind of really shifted a little bit. It's not gone away, but it's just that it's hard to really find anything that really gravitates to what you like about the franchise, rather than just appealing to what everybody else loves. So for me personally, I want to try and make something different out of this channel, and I'm thinking a little bit more because as my interest has been moving to things that I have been working so busy with over the last few years, from 2014 to now. It really seems like now would be a good time to really think about what to do with this channel and where do I go from here with it, because you know I want to try and include more of the whole Transformers thing into what I do, but it's trying to find an opinion that really stands out, that doesn't sound like somebody else's same opinion. And speaking of Transformers, I have said a while ago that I had retired from collecting, but dun, 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 I'm a bad man because I went ahead and gave in and bought some shit, and I've got another one on the way. Yes, this is Combiner Wars Bruticus. I've been so busy with taking pictures of these separate guys, both Onslaught and Brawl, and I really, really like this toy. I really like the Combiner Wars concept. I know a lot of people don't seem to really care that much for the Combiner Wars, but you know, looking at it in a lot more detail, and just seeing how you put this next to the original toy of this character, and you see a great deal of difference, and I'm looking for another one in August, when I go to TF Nation this year. So I'm looking so forward to that, but at the moment I've been buying shit, and I shouldn't be, even though I said a while ago that I've retired from collecting. But the reason is because I've been doing so much on my photography, as you've pretty much might have already seen. I have been busy doing toy photography, because toy photography is, I think, far more. It's engaging to me. It's engaging to me to really just take pictures of these guys and see them all in different poses and doing like recreating different scenarios of these characters. And it's really cool how these things stand out. One thing I don't like about this toy in particular is that I was expecting the posability of the legs in Combiner form to be a bit more flexible, but no, it kind of stopped halfway. Well, you can see why because of this, the other crotch piece. But that's just a minor setback. At the moment, I'm enjoying this toy. I'm enjoying these characters, and I've never had a full cut of the Combaticons. I mean, I had the original G1 Swindle, Brawl, and Blastoff years ago, but then I sold them, and then I had the RRD Ruination set, which is basically the recoloring of Bruticus, which I sold, so I don't have those anymore, but you know, on the way to getting a Combiner Wars Bruticus is going to be a hard task, because trying to find these guys together is impossible without having to give up all your money. But you know what, I don't mind going for them individually. I mean, I know I've got Swindle on the way, so you'll be seeing that as well. But anyway, back onto the point of the video. Yeah, I've broken my vow, and I've been collecting only just the toys that I think are needed for what I'm trying to do. Because the one thing that I've said before, I'm so into a lot of other things now, because I've been so invested in my photography, I've been so invested in my art, I've been so invested in writing articles for the Cyber Ritz, which I have been off on, but I need to really get down and do more. Probably after TF Nation, when things are kind of winded down, because at the moment your the excitement level is just getting ready, and then all of a sudden convention comes. You haven't got any time for anything else, and you need to finish what you're doing. In fact, speaking of which, two of the things that I've been working on, and I've probably glossed over this in as much detail as I can. I have been working on various different art pieces, and this one, which I'm very proud of, in fact, this Perceptor piece, which I am going to get printed for Paul Eiding to sign, because Paul Eiding is coming back to the UK this year, which is going to be good. And you've already seen this, so no point in showing it again. And I've got another one in the works right now, which you'll see in a lot more depth. But, you know, I'm just thinking, like, what do I do with this channel? I don't really have the energy to do toy reviews anymore. And so I'm just thinking, you will be seeing something very different, because change for this channel and for me personally, I think, you know, change is good. Change is not always a good thing, but change is good for things that for things and for people that if you want to be better at who you are and be better at what you do, then you really want to put all your energy in that. So I'm bouncing around different ideas. You know, I'm thinking, because I love so much of all this, I want to start doing like art streaming and probably more better structured vlogs, because the vlogs that I do and pretty much the videos that I start off with, I always go ahead and say, it's been a while. If anybody who has stuck with me for this long is getting tired of that shit, then please say so, because I'm getting tired of saying it. I don't like having to keep repeating myself over and over again. But, you know, if anybody's wondering where I am, then at least it's important to know, hey, I've done this and that, and da-da-da-da-da. You know, we all have lives behind the screen, so it really is, it's hard to really just keep up to speed with what everybody else is doing and how many videos you make that are going to appeal to people. So anyway, like I'm saying, yeah. So I'm thinking about this channel and the videos that I've done, and I'm considering. I haven't really officially decided yet, but I'm considering removing all of my old content, even though it goes back from 2009. So I mean, that's like a history to really look back on. But just because, you know, I'm not really that much of a toy reviewer anymore. I'm so dedicated to the things that I really am more passionate about. And toy reviewing, as much as it's been fun for a while, it's something that I don't think really... There are people out there who do it professionally, and there are people who do it better. I mean, hell, take a look at Theo. I mean, he's probably one of the most strongest reviewers over here in the UK going at the moment, and he does some fantastic videos. And I mean, he's had panels, and he's managed to really let his success be a part of that persona of who he is. So Theo, as a guy, as a toy reviewer, is it's just as appealing, and it's just as important to the whole reviewing community as possible. I mean, there are some still out there who treat this like more of a professional career, but I've got no appeal. I've got no opinion on that. But I'm focusing a little bit more on what to do with this channel a bit better. So yeah, I hope I managed to get this point across. So this isn't really a goodbye, because it doesn't feel like a goodbye. It really feels like a reboot, because I want to try and move on to something bigger. Interests change, you want to better yourself and better what you do, and really just find something to do that helps inspire people, because I think that the one thing that inspiration does for people is it really, and not to make this sound really stupid, but it actually gives people the motivation they need to pursue what they want to do. It gives them the motivation to keep going if ever they're depressed. It gives them the motivation to really open up a bit more with their hidden talents and really expose what they do for a living and what they want to do for a living and what they enjoy doing and how they are able to communicate with other people who have that similar interest. I mean, that's kind of the good thing about communities or fandoms like this, is that you don't have the 99.9% majority of people going ahead and like ridiculing you for your interests, and if you do, then you're a cunt. But that's a very different opinion. My whole feeling towards this is, if you have something that you really want to do, go do it. Don't wait, because if you only live once, so there's no point, I think, in putting so much of your effort into something that you know you're not going to enjoy, into something that you feel isn't going to be beneficial for you, because otherwise you're stuck doing that for the rest of your life. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at here. So this is more of a sort of look back on what I've done, because I've done toy reviews, I've done mostly vlogs, and celebrating how subscribers come and go as sort of like a milestone on how far you've come as a video maker. But you know what? I want to change. I want to change the channel. I want to change what I do, and I want to really focus on the thing that I really want to put more of my effort on. So there you go. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I've not been so active on here as much, and one of the reasons why I want to really just get this video out there and just to really, I guess you can say, put the nail in the coffin, because, you know, one part of your life you don't really dedicate as much time towards, and I've been thinking about this for a while, and I was resenting the whole idea of quitting the whole toy reviewing thing, but you know what? I want to move on to other interests, and I want to use that on this channel a bit more. So until then, everybody, I'll see you all soon. Oh, and by the way, just as a self-plugging thing, if anybody wants to keep up with what I do, or if anybody wants to see any of the work that I've done, you can follow me in the links below on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll be using that as an example for something a bit better displayed, because me having to point down to the syphilis bar below doesn't do it any justice. I mean, you need something a bit more than that. So yeah, there you go. So until then, everybody, take care. I'll see you all soon.